So you guys, welcome back to a beginner's walkthrough of Dark Souls 3. And today we're going to go over Iudex Gundyr, which is the first boss, you might call him a boss from this game, and the Firelink Shrine and a few secrets from that area if you aren't already familiar with them. But to start off with, we are just going off from the first bonfire here, and I'm going to pick up a couple of items here. There is this shiny thing down here, and what you need to do, let's see if I can get it right, is just run up and jump, and you land on the coffin here, and it will give you a Titanite shard, which is an object you use to update your weapon, upgrade your weapon. You can do a plunging attack on this guy here, and over here we have a guy shooting arrows. So really not that much danger here, but this is where the game really starts. This is the first boss arena, and hopefully I can get it right the first time. He can be kind of a pain in the ass if you are not used to Souls games, because he's kind of quick, but a good starting tip is to, as soon as you remove the sword here, you need to start hitting him. Get as many hits in as you can before he actually aggroes. This will help you out. Now, someone prefers to use a shield. Personally, I don't like it for this exact fight. You need to be quick with your dodging, and again, mind your stamina. Some of his hits have these big delays on them, and this is something you need to be really careful with. Now, this is the second part of the boss fight. This is where things start to get a bit weird. He turns into this big abyss beast. What I would recommend here is just to stay close to him and circle around him, and dodge when necessary. And then just get in your hits whenever you have the opportunity, and that's about it, guys. That's Iudex Gundyr. If you haven't tried a Souls game before, this guy can be kind of tough, and what you saw there was actually an increase of my total HP. This is because I'm embered. Now, to be embered means that yeah, you're carrying around this ember, and this actually activates the online part of the game. This means that from this point on, I can get invaded, and I will stay embered for as long as I don't die. So keep that in mind, that invaders will be coming more frequently when they will only come when you're embered, so that's something to look out for. But going on forward here, we're just going to open this door, and this will lead to the Firelink Shrine, which is the main hobby of the game. This is where you upgrade your weapon, use your souls to level up, and so on. And any NPC you will pick up during the game will set up shop here. There's a couple of different NPCs you can get to Firelink Shrine, which will sell you sorceries and miracles and pyromancies and so on. But we'll get to that in a minute. So we'll just go up here, and then you need to go down here. So first things first, we gotta set up a bonfire, and this bonfire isn't lit yet. Now, you might have noticed that Iudex Gundyr actually dropped this thing called the coiled sword. This is not a weapon, this is something you use to activate the bonfire here. So we'll just set it up here, and from this point on we can rest at this place. Now, what you get from the rest screen is a couple of options. You get the travel option, which means that you can travel to any bonfire that you've lit, or in this case you can go to the high wall of Lothric, which is yeah, the first area you'll go to after this tutorial area of the game. Attune spell. This determines which spells you're having activated on your character. We don't have any spells right now, so I can't really choose any. Organize your storage box. This will become more important later on in the game as we start to pick up things that we actually don't need. Like for example this broken straight sword, it's not something that we're going to use, so I'm just going to put it here in the storage box. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it here. We have this option called Burn Undead Bone Shard. You can pick up these items during the game called Undead Bone Shards, and what they do is they upgrade your Estus Flask so it will become stronger. To go through the NPCs that are already here, we have the Firekeeper, which is an NPC we use to level up our character. What you actually do is just pick level up here, and you will come into this screen that displays your current stats. You can actually see what the different stats affects. So if I go up in vigor here without confirming, I can see that my maximum HP and my fire defense will be raised by this. So feel free to knock around here for a bit and see just which stats you want to upgrade. We've got this guy up here, who is another unkindled. He is a former part of a group of warriors called the Abyss Watchers, but we'll get to that later on. For now he doesn't really do anything. He gave us this gesture called Collapse, which gestures is something you can do. I usually main it when I'm doing co-op. It's just these basic things you can do. He will eventually give us some gems that we can use to infuse our weapons, and if you talk to him at the right moment, he will also give you a ring, which you will need if you want to get the Platinum trophy for this game. So over here we have the Handmaiden. The Handmaiden is the person that sells us stuff. You can also sell stuff to her for souls. So this is what she has in her inventory right now, and there's really not much of interest for us here. If you are playing as a sorcerer, she does have a couple of spells and the miracle called Heal Aid, so keep that in mind. She also sells embers, which, as I explained before, is raising your maximum HP and opens up the chance of getting invaded by other players. You will pick up ashes as you go through the game, which will open up for other things that she will sell you. Over here we have the smith, Andre. Andre is an important character here in this game. This is where we reinforce our weapon. As you can see right now, we can't really do anything with the longsword. We need another Titanite shard to upgrade it, but out on the right of the screen you can see what this actually does to our weapon. It raises the base damage to 121 instead of 110, and the extra damage to 24, and this is decided by your skills in dexterity and strength. He can also infuse weapons. Now we don't really have any gems right now, but if we had, we could put a fire effect on our weapon, for example, and as you see here, this is the effect that you get from the fire gem. It removes some of the damage but adds fire damage instead. What else? He repairs equipment, but as I talked about in the former video, I haven't really managed to ever break any of my weapons or my gear in general. Here we have this thing called a lot Estus Flask. This is how you split the uses of your Estus. We're not going to need any FP, so I'm just going to do it like this. So we get another Estus Flask to use for healing. Now if we had an Estus Shard, we can actually go and give that to him as well, and he will reinforce our Estus Flask, which at this point would mean that we would go from 4 Estus Flask uses to 5 instead. So Andre, pretty important. Now we do have some souls that we did pick up, consumable souls I should say, and what these does is just give you extra souls to use. Normally I wouldn't recommend to just use them like this. I would rather save them, and if you're in need of a certain amount of souls, it's always nice to have them around to just consume them so you have enough. But for now, this is it. We're going to talk to the handmaid here, the firekeeper here, and level up. And for now, I would like a bit more strength, endurance, vigor, and I think this is how we will do it for starters. So there is actually an early game weapon which I would like to pick up, which is called the Claymore, but we'll get to that. Now, if you're coming up here, you can go out here, and you see this big door. This leads up to the tower up there, but you'll need a key. You can buy that key from the handmaiden for 20,000 souls, but I don't think it's worth it right now. It will be later on, but not now. Actually, there is a glitch in this game which can give us early access to some good items up here on the roof, and what you need to do is run up this tree and just jump off it till you hit the roof. Now, I'm gonna try to do this, but if I can't really do it in my first couple of tries, I will just edit the clip so you guys won't have to see me jump around like a crazy person here. Okay guys, I will stop recording now, and I will record again as soon as I've hit the roof. Till then. So that was actually kind of stupid, because I actually managed to do it on the next jump just after I stopped recording, but now we're here. And we picked up this thing called a homeward bone. It is not a essential item, but I think it's a very nice item to have. This means that you can return to the last bonfire you rested at, or to the shrine, which basically means if you're in a situation where you're about to die and you don't want to lose your souls, this is an item you can use to get back and not lose your souls. Thankfully there isn't too long in between bonfires in this game, so it won't be that big a trouble just for the sake of the length of coming to it. Now, what you hear here is the crows. I don't actually remember the name of them, but the thing about these crows is you can actually trade in things to them to get another item back. There are certain things that they like to take and give you another thing, but they won't take everything you've got in your inventory. So now we're gonna leave this just to show you what I mean. And he just goes over, all crazy there, and he actually gave us this gesture called the call over, which is actually nice when you're playing co-op and you want to show someone something. This will make a sound. I can show you in just a minute. And the iron bracelets, it's not something I've used, but yeah, pretty nice outcome here. So if we just switch over to call over here, we can use it like this. And that's basically what it does. So you see there is an item here. Make sure you don't fall down. This is an Estus shard, and I don't think you're actually supposed to get this early game, but it is a very big help at this point. Coming down to this wall, you want to hit it because it is a false wall. If you come down here, there is a chest. Now normally I would recommend hitting every chest, because there are those things in this game called mimics, which I will show you in a later video, but this one is safe, so just go ahead and open it and you will get this covetous silver serpent ring. This is a very good starting item. What this does is it gives you more souls from the enemies you kill. I don't remember how much it raises it, but I think it's around 10%, which is really nice here in the start of the game. So make sure that you get that before you go on to explore more of the world. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Andre, since we picked up an Estus shot. And then we will say reinforce Estus flask. And there you go. So now when we rest, you will notice that we will get an extra use of this Estus flask. There we go. Now, if you are not building on a strength character, but rather are going for a dexterity build, there is a guy you would want to kill to get an excellent dex weapon from the start of the game. What you want to do is come down here. Just a second, guys. And you want to come up here, and as you see there up on the top of the stairs, there is a guy, and you need to be very careful with him. I usually die at least a couple of times to him in my playthroughs, but we're going to try to take him on anyways. Now this is a move you want to watch out for. If I try to hit him now, he will actually do a parry on me, which means that he can get in a critical attack. Now you can lure him off the cliff, but I'm not exactly sure how to do it. What I like to do is just to stun lock him and get in a couple of hits now and then. See, there is a sure chance. And just get out again. Watch out for this, let him use his attack. And go in. Watch out again. Chance. And as you see, he's very aggressive as soon as he gets in a hit, so be careful with him. And there you go, on our first try as well. That might actually be the first time I've ever tried that. So pick up his items. The attire isn't really worth much, but the Uchigatana is a very good dex weapon. And what this also does is it means that you can summon him for the first boss fight of the game. I actually don't know why these guys aggroed there, but yeah, just take care of them. They're not that hard. It's the same guys as you met down at the Cemetery of Ash. So make sure to get this Ember. And then down here there will be another item, which is also an Ember. And now here we have one of the most annoying enemies in the game. This is a dog, and souls, they have a reputation of just making incredibly annoying dogs. The best tip I can give you with dogs is just keep your shield up until they try to attack you, and then get in a hit or two. It's not because they hurt that much, it's just they're pretty annoying. And now we're gonna go and rest at the bonfire, and I think this will be it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you found this helpful in any way, and maybe leave a subscription as well. I would be very thankful for that. So thank you guys, and see you next time.